everyone! Today I am finally here to review one of my favorite creative nonfiction books in the world, and that is Safekeeping by Abigail Thomas. This was also one of 4 books that we read for the Creative Nonfiction Club last month in July, and 3 more book reviews are coming up soon. So I went to university and then graduate school for creative writing, and I specifically like to study creative nonfiction and comics. This book not only appeared in the very first creative nonfiction class that I took, but it also popped up 2 or 3 more times throughout my whole program. If you're interested in reading or writing creative nonfiction, this is one of the best examples of a creative nonfiction book that you can both study and really enjoy. The format of memoir that most people are used to is not the only format that you can use to write about your life, and Safekeeping really showcases that. Before I begin, I do want to point out the content warnings for this book, which are sex scenes, scenes in a hospital, terminal illness, death, and grief. Safekeeping is Abigail Thomas's first memoir, and she has since written at least 2 since its release. And yes, I've read both. I will read all her memoirs. There are a few quotes in this book that just sum up the entire book's tone perfectly, and I want to share them with you. The first is a quote by Abigail Thomas herself, and that is, "You can appreciate things at 4 in the morning that would go right past you during the day." The second, which is also a quote by Abigail Thomas, is, "Nothing is wasted." And the third, an excerpt of the song Hey Jude by the Beatles, which appears at the beginning of this book. "Take a sad song and make it better." Abigail Thomas has not had an easy life, from teenage pregnancy to living from paycheck to paycheck to going through 2 divorces and then eventually losing someone very important in her life. However, the tone of this book is gratitude, and I never felt low while reading this book. In fact, I turn to this book whenever I need to feel peaceful. Every moment in Abigail Thomas's life is told through the lens of attentive thankfulness. The way Abigail Thomas writes this book is so creative and goes very well with her tone. First of all, she writes short vignettes throughout the book that are about 1 to 3 pages long each. Some vignettes are only a sentence long, with bountiful white space throughout the page, giving the reader a moment to reflect. Other vignettes are longer but never surpass 5 pages. Second, the vignettes are ordered by topic association rather than chronology, which is unique to both creative nonfiction and fiction, and it really works with her story. And third, she never sticks to one type of narration. Throughout the book, Abigail Thomas switches from first, second, and third person. In my creative nonfiction classes, we talked about why Abigail Thomas might have chosen this technique. Was she trying to, for example, when writing in third person, was she trying to discuss tough topics while still keeping a distance from them? I still think that's definitely possible, but after rereading this book a few times, I wonder if maybe another reason she chose this technique was to offer the reader an opportunity to look at a situation, particularly a situation in their own life, through multiple perspectives. What sort of things do you not normally see when looking at your life in a different way? I also want to take a moment to talk about Abigail Thomas's writing style in this book. It's not flowery, it's not fluffy, but it's also not on the opposite end of that spectrum in being too frank. She also leaves enough room for the reader to think on what she just wrote and come to their own conclusions. She is very aware of her word choice. Every time I finish a vignette, I am stuck on the last sentence or word. It just echoes in my head as I think about that passage. All in all, this is not only one of my favorite creative nonfiction books, but also one of my favorite books of all time. I rarely reread books, even books that I've loved, and I've read this one at least 5 times. And no, not just for class. I love narratives with themes of thankfulness and appreciation, which is why I love this book so much. One of the reasons why. I hope you enjoyed my review of Safekeeping, and better yet, I hope that you really enjoy Safekeeping if you decide to pick it up. Please let me know if you've read this book, or if you have a book, movie, or TV show recommendation where the theme of gratitude is strong. That is everything from me today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all are doing well and staying safe, and please keep an eye out for book reviews for the other books that we read in July for the Creative Nonfiction Book Club. I'll see you all very soon.